Hello, everybody. Once again, I'd like to finish up this subtopic of Hatmanah. This will be a brief share, just a few loose ends that we have to tie up in this subject of Hatmanah, of insulating. Number one, we briefly mentioned, just want to elaborate on it slightly, that if you wrap a food it is not tightly wrapped, that means like you have a towel around it that's not snug around the food, that is not called Hatmanah. So that would be a way to permit, let's say you want to put something on top of the crock pot and cover it with the towel is not snug around it. And around it means on the top and the four sides. If it's not flush against it, that there's some space between the wrapping and the pot or the food that you're wrapping, then it is not called hatmanah. So let's say you take some soup off the fire and you want to cover it, that's because you want to serve it for somebody in 20 minutes, so you want to cover it with a towel. One permissible way to do it would be, if you, let's say you have a soup that is 10 inches in diameter, and you have a plate that is 12 or 14 inches in diameter, you could put the plate on top of the pot of soup, and then drape a towel over that plate, so obviously there will be some space between the sides of the pot and the towel. That would be a permissible way of doing hatmanah even on Shabbos with a towel, davar she'ein ma'asav hevel, some which is only going to retain the heat, not add the heat, and that would be okay to do it even on Shabbos because it is not called hatmanah, because it's not snug against the pot or the food. Another way that would be permissible to do hatmanah is in a cliche. That means that there is no isser hatmanah in a cliche, only in a kli rishon. So if you take the pot of soup off the fire, if you empty the contents into another pot, that pot is now a cliche, and a cliche is mutter to do hatmanah. You could wrap it in a towel even if it's snug. You're allowed to do hatmanah on a cliche. This is not to be confused with what we said before. Somebody might have the question, hey, you could do hatmanah in a cliche, but we said yesterday that you can't do it with a baby bottle. It's totally different. First of all, over there you were putting the baby bottle into hot water, which is ma'asav hevel, and also over here, the logic why it's okay is because Chazal say, if you're taking it, what's the concern of hatmanah? The concern of hatmanah is that you're trying to wrap it, you might see it's not hot enough, so you might come to put it on a fire, or chas v'shalom, raise the fire. So therefore, Chazal said you can't do hatmanah. But if you're taking it from a kli rishon and doing an act of cooling it off by putting it into a kli sheni, so now Chazal weren't concerned anymore. So when you actually take it from a kli rishon and put it into a kli sheni, that removes the concern, the gzeira of hatmanah. So that's why that's okay. One final halacha is that you are allowed to do chazara by hatmanah. That means that if you take something, if something was wrapped at the onset of Shabbos and then became unwrapped, you unwrapped it yourself or the wrapping fell off, you are allowed to rewrap it, and you don't need to have intention. You can put it down. All those tanoim that we said, those conditions that we said by regular chazara do not apply over here. If something was wrapped at the onset of Shabbos and became unwrapped, you are allowed to rewrap it in a davar she'ein ma'asav hevel. If it's wrapped in a towel, you can rewrap the towel. You can wrap the towel back around the pot. Okay, I hope that this has been informative, and I hope that gave some clarity into these last 4 shiurim on hatmanah. And Mr. Hashem, tomorrow we will continue on to another topic in Halachos Shabbos. Kol tov, and have a great day.